This is Frosty GT. Frosty GT has dated a middle schooler, or, in other words, this 16-year-old dated a 14-year-old. And I know, some of you, upon hearing that, may be confused as to why a 2-year age gap is such a big deal. Well, you're right. Under normal circumstances, a 2-year age gap wouldn't be anything of note, but this isn't a normal circumstance. This is a person who can drive getting involved with a person who's just entering puberty. So, how exactly do I know this? Well, one day, while I was being a loser and hanging out in the Girl Tag Discord server, a place where all losers hang out, I saw someone making fun of some chick in general. So, I joined in and pointed out the fact this person was 14 and e-dating, saying, quote, "It's a recipe for disaster," which it absolutely is. Being 14 and stating loud and proud you're willing to do changes on the internet opens you up to all kinds of sticky situations, the kind I can't mention here. But anyway, Frosty joins the conversation and for whatever reason, states that he's dating a 14-year-old and has, quote, dated a few. So, as any sane man would, I asked how old Frosty was, to which he replied, 16. The people and I were shocked, as everyone, except Frosty of course, recognized how gross and borderline predatory the situation was. Confused, Frosty asked why people have a problem with the age gap. I replied and told him the issue wasn't solely the age gap, but the maturity gap. As stated previously, a 16-year-old and 14-year-old are in completely different stages of their lives. A shit ton happens in between those years. That's pretty much why I say a 2-year age gap is normally normal. A 19-year-old dating a 21-year-old is a much different situation. That 19-year-old is already getting things together and can legally consent, while that 21-year-old is able to drink. And you can make the argument that your mom and dad's boyfriend have an absurd age gap, but when did they meet? At what age? That isn't much of an argument, but I'll entertain it. Let's say they met at 14 and 16 just like Frosty and the victim. That's still creepy as fuck. Standards change. Just because there was a K in the 80s doesn't mean it should be a K in the present day. So the guy dated a 14-year-old boy for a few weeks. Big deal, right? Well, it goes much deeper. So deep, in fact, it took me a month to finish writing the script I'm reading out to you right now. So what did the guy do? Well, first, I have to explain the concept of lolly. Think anime child material. Many people also use the term kane, which is a dog whistle to refer to a little girl's. They'll usually tell you it means cute and funny, which it absolutely doesn't. The reason why I bring this up is because the process of me recording this is dating a person who just turned 14 that has a lolly Discord tag. Am I angry at this person? No. It's very clear this individual is groomed into this sort of thing, as no child finds themselves associating with that type of culture without outside influence from creeps, which Frosty very clearly is. As for proof of Frosty's sexual degeneracy, these are DMs between Frosty and Crumbs, provided by Crumb themselves. When Board and I spoke to Crumb, they claimed to have been psychologically abused by Frosty. And if you weren't sold on the grooming narrative, Crumbs is attached to Frosty to an unhealthy degree. After he gave us the information we needed, he went back to Frosty and continued serving him, even going as far as lying about the relationship's dynamic in order to discredit Board and I. Frosty has us threatened to kill himself multiple times in order to keep the relationship together. He threatened suicide a lot, to the point where it's obvious he's only saying he will to get in your head and make you feel bad for him. Take his recent community post for example. He sad posts like a moody 14-year-old girl seeking validation. And of course, I'm not saying he isn't struggling with his mental health. I mean, you don't just rot in your room for hours at a time for the hell of it. What I am saying, however, is it's clear he's weaponizing his struggles for his own benefit. Rather than seeking the help he deserves, he chooses to go online and vent to a bunch of strangers who really don't give a shit. Wow, this isn't as bad as the other stuff. I would still like to quickly show this off. Yes, he's apologized, but he still said and did it. And side note, just because he apologized doesn't make any of his actions okay. I could punch an old lady, then apologize. That doesn't automatically make things right. Of course, I'm not saying he punched anyone, but you get the idea, alright? Frosty GT is a creep, a weirdo, and a danger to anyone he interacts with. I know a lot of you won't believe me, so feel free to call me a liar. I really don't care. What I do care about is ensuring this gets out there. And if you do believe me, thank you. I hope you spread this around, share it with a friend, or at the very least, keep the memory of what this guy did alive. I've been Z-Nights, and don't touch kids.